Oh, snap. We live, sis. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. So let's get this party started. Let's go. DJ John Quick, Bobbie Baker, Bobbie Baker, DJ John Quick, Bobbie Baker.
He's the DJ, she's the actress. He's the DJ, she's the actress. He's the DJ, she's the actress. Actress.
And we're back for another exciting and enthralling episode of He's the DJ. She's actually, you like the way I use that, right?
Yeah, you rolled your tongue with it. That was nice.
Well, I'm superhero DJ John Quick.
I'm the actress, Bobbie Baker.
So you know how we always start, Bobbie, you got any new news that we need to know about? Because like I said, yo, if you've been following the show, you already know it's hard to keep up with this sister. Like she be doing her damn thing.
oh, you know what? Just still getting my mind right for the move to Tennessee. So, Tennessee. I listened to that today and I cried. I cried. Yeah, Arrested Development, they were before their time.
Absolutely.
But it's just I'm still processing the news from last week. So what about you?
I'm good, and just been shopping these TV treatments, getting some great feedback, and hopefully I'll have some really good news for you coming up soon. Mm-hmm. But speaking of the news, it's that time of the night where we got to dive into our segment, my favorite segment. It's called File This Under Blank. So let's start out first with this Negro.
It is significant, Steve. It's significant that I'm African American and I'm the head coach here. It's significant. I know that in terms of Division I head coaches all around the country, only 26% of the head coaches for Division I men's basketball are compromised by minorities, specifically African Americans. I know that it is significant that I'm the fourth African American head coach in any sport in the history of the University of North Carolina. I'm very proud to be African American, but I'm also very proud that my wife is white, and I'm very proud that my three beautiful, unbelievable kids are a combination of both of us.
Yeah. I don't even know where to begin.
But you got to begin on this one. You got to start on with your thoughts. So what you think about that?
When I first heard it, I was drinking some orange juice, I almost spit it out. And I couldn't believe that he said what he said. So I actually paused it. And I was like, there's no way he said what he just said. So I had to rewind it. Because I'm thinking, maybe he said, I'm proud of my white wife and whatever, which still would have been an issue. But this dude, no, he didn't say that. He said, and I quote, but also I'm proud that my wife is white. As if that's some type of celebratory accomplishment for a black man to have bagged a white wife. It made me think about, it made me think about, some of the stereotypical mindsets that some black men have had in our history, feeling that, once they've made it, they need to have a white woman on their arm. You know what I'm saying? But I don't feel like that's no longer the case. And I just couldn't believe that he would say such a thing. And for no reason. And especially if you understand the question that was posed to him in terms of, what do you think of the historical significance of your hire?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. So much like my response to your girl last week with the bonnet.
Oh yeah,
it's not a bonnet, it's a hat. I'm gonna say this about the Hubert Davis interview. And the reason why I am where I am with this mentally is because my husband is fresh off of a press conference and fresh out of the process of being a new hire, where he is the one who has that heavy crown on and everyone is looking at him. And it's been crazy. It's been a whirlwind.
I can imagine.
I honestly think he made a mistake in his choice of words. I do.
I hope so.
I do.
Hold on. Wait. Let me rewind that. Oh, he definitely made a mistake in his choice of words.
Yeah.
That's not even a question.
But I think, and people might get me for this one, but I think he innocent. I think he meant to say, or he should have said, or he was trying to find the words to say, I'm proud of my wife who just so happens to be white. Okay, so that's okay. Clearly, that is not the issue. Clearly, that is not what anybody was talking about. That has nothing to do with the price of rice in Dubai or wherever. But nerves, fatigue, stress, and emotion, when you put all of those things in a pot and mix them all together, and then you add in cameras and questions and all the above, some things just don't come out right. I honestly, like, it's hilarious, but I don't think he meant to say it like that. I think it came out wrong.
He sounded like Steven from Django.
He did.
That's funny. The only way that could have been worse if he had said some stuff like, and I'm proud that I bagged me a fine white woman. That's the only way that could have came out worse. But you know what? I'm glad that you have that perspective, and it's definitely something that we all should think about. The only issue is that the question that was asked really had nothing to do. He didn't have to say anything about his wife at that point. You know what I'm saying? So that's the issue. Like, God, like, you didn't have to go there. It was like, what are you doing?
Right. But I wonder though. I wonder how. So when you have a multiracial, a biracial family or whatever, and your race, your race is highlighted. I wonder, does it put you in an awkward position as it relates to your children? So I wonder, did he feel the need or a responsibility or yearning or tugging or whatever to just say something to validate both sides of who his children are and who his family is? Because I don't know what it's like to be a multiracial family or a biracial family in this political climate.
Yeah.
There has to be, you have to be torn to a certain degree on some things, especially the children, So I just wonder.
Yeah.
When race comes up, are they like, kumbaya, it's all of us together? You know what I mean? Is that just his go-to? I don't know.
Yeah, it's crazy because, as someone whose sister is in a biracial marriage, and I love her husband. Her husband is best thing that ever happened to her. Good dude. And he is part of our family, like real talk. So I get all that. But again, there was 1,001 other things you could have said.
Yeah.
So bro, what I would say to him is, bro, before you go into these press conferences, have your mind right. That's what I can say. Because honestly, again, we were cheering for you, and let's keep it 100. I love your perspective on this, but there's going to be a lot of black mamas out there that are going to be like, "Oh, I'm not sending my son to this school."
No, you're right.
Let's keep it 100. Like, that was critical. And then you also have people who are thinking like, "Oh, he's just saying this, for the conservatives out there will feel comfortable." But at the end of the day, I just felt like I wish he just hadn't said anything. He just should have answered the actual question. But it's
I would have taken a nap.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know what? Let's keep this short and simple. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But anyway, let's keep. So what are we gonna file this under, sis? What are we gonna file this under?
Find us under knowing you need a nap. I don't know.
I like that one. They needed a nap. Okay, let's go on to the next subject. The next subject is our brother Deshaun Watson. Now, Deshaun, and the last time I counted was yesterday. It's 22 accusers, but the thing is, none of them have actually filed criminal charges. They're all like civil lawsuits. But for the first time, one of the accusers spoke out. Let's hear from her.
I'm here to take back the power and take back control. I am a survivor of assault and harassment. Deshaun Watson is my assaulter and my harasser. Deshaun Watson assaulted and harassed me on March 30th, 2020, in my own home, doing what I love most, massage therapy. My father, who was once a diehard Texans fan, can no longer mention his name without turning red, seething with disappointment. I think that's the most heartbreaking aspect of it all. We were all deceived into thinking Deshaun Watson was a good guy. And unfortunately, we know that good guys can do terrible things.
Wow. You know, it's crazy. You know, anything having to do with sexual assault, sexual misconduct, rape, it's always more powerful when you actually can put a face and a personality to it. And I'll keep it 100 with you. Like, you know, no one was there. No one knows what happened except her and himself. But, you know, it is what it is right now. And I guess, you know how they always say it's her side, his side, and the actual truth. I'm definitely going to be interested to see how this all plays out. But I got to be honest with you, this doesn't look good.
It is very hard to not believe that woman.
Yes, I agree.
Very hard to not believe her. I just applaud her bravery for coming forward, because there's so many people, I don't know, hiding. And it's okay. It's okay. Like, I get it. I'm not judging them for that. They feel if that's where they feel safest, then by all means, stay where you feel safe. But it's very brave to come forward and to be vulnerable. And looking at her, watching her, it's very hard not to believe her. Like you said, this is gonna be difficult.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you know, I just I know this subject has been beaten, you know, over the head over and over again and again. You know, only time is going to tell us as more facts come out. I'll keep it 100 with you. Again, it really doesn't look good. Like 22 accusers, like, and they were saying that over a 2 to 3 year period, he had 44 different massage therapists, and that's a lot. I mean, that's a lot of massage therapists. Let's just throw the accusations out the window. Like, why do you need 44 different massage therapists? That's what I don't understand.
Over the course of how long?
I think it was like 2 to 3 years.
Dang.
That's a lot. That's still a lot.
Every few weeks.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. So we'll see how this plays out. But what do you want to file this under?
Oh gosh. I'm not good at finding the titles, John.
Yeah, let's file this under wait and see.
Yeah,
that's what I would say, because you know they're still very curious. You know, let's keep it 100 on both sides. There's still very curious facts on both sides in terms of all the women going to this one particular lawyer. I'm sure it could be almost like a class action situation, but that lawyer happens to be neighbors with the Texans owners who are upset at Deshaun because Deshaun does not want to be there because of the Texans. Well, there's several reasons, but one in particular, you know, his devotion to Trump and, you know, kind of that old South feel that Deshaun feels like disrespected. He felt like he wasn't being listened to by the organization, which is, you know, that's not an issue when it comes to white quarterbacks, franchise quarterbacks and their organization. So again, let's file this under wait and see what happens.
Wait and see.
This one story is going to be quick, but I just had to mention it. There's a new online scam, Bobbie. Fake vaccination cards. fake vaccination cards. They are selling anywhere from $30 to $100. Yep.
What?
That is so, to me, that's so dangerous.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And you know, it's funny. When I went and I got my first shot a few weeks back, I get my next one next Friday. So hopefully I'll be able to come on next Friday without growing an extra eye.
Right. Which one you getting? The Moderna, the Pfizer? I know you're not getting the Johnson & Johnson.
I got the Moderna one.
Okay.
Moderna, yeah. So,
right.
you know, but, you know, as I looked at the card, I said to myself, damn, I was like, anybody could have made this. I said that to myself. And
You're
then,
right.
And obviously, I'm not the only one who thought that way.
Right,
so.
right. And I didn't have that thought when I saw the cars, but when you just told me what you told me about people, you know, bootlegging the cars or whatever, an image of the car came to mind. I was like, they look like an elementary school application.
Absolutely. And think about it, everything's in writing. That's the important stuff is in writing. So you can just you can probably do that with your phone.
Right. I think it's gonna be direct back to the drawing board.
Yeah.
On those cars, it's got to be something that be like they got to figure something else out.
Yeah, this going to have to be like a driver's license situation.
Yeah,
that's what I think.
Like our real ID joint.
Yeah. So I already know what I found this under.
What you got?
I found this under you bootleg Negroes need to stop. That's what I found that under.
Oh gosh.
So listen. We have our guest backstage, and she is an amazing sister. And Victoria Christopher Murray is the author of The 7 Deadly Sins. And like, to me, I know a lot of authors, and their dream is to have their book turned into some type of screenplay. Well, daggone it, Victoria made it happen. So let's give y'all a little preview of what she got going on.
And you will not give way to the desires of the flesh.
Can I come in? From executive producer T.D. Jakes.
Tomorrow you marry the man that you love.
It's gonna take us to the next level, right?
The first chapter in the 7 Deadly Sins story.
Do not believe a word that this man is telling.
You watch out for the devil because he will be on the hunt.
So when's the big day?
I've been thinking about you.
So is God punishing me? Sometimes I think we got together for the wrong reasons.
An all-new Lifetime original movie.
I'm about to screw everything up.
Tobias Trevelyan, Carrie Hilson, Darrell Tank Babs. Lust, a 7 Deadly Sins story. Premieres Saturday, April 10th. Only on Lifetime.
So let's bring to the stage your soror, my sis, Victoria Christopher Murray.
Hi. I know, I started to do that.
So I told Bobbie before you got on, I was like, listen, Bobbie, your career is popping right now. So I gotta connect you with Sora because Sora's career is popping right now. Y'all need to make that Crimson and Cream energy pop, you know?
That's right. That's what deltas do.
That's what we do.
Now you know I love me some deltas, man. No doubt. So listen, sis. Let's first of all, for the people who don't know who you are, I love to pose this question: who exactly is Victoria Christopher Murray?
Well, I'll keep it toward just this career, but I'm a novelist. I'm an author, and I've been writing for 20 years. I have over 30 novels. And I have been blessed. 5 have been nominated for NAACP Image Awards in Outstanding Literature. I've won once. I was beginning to feel like Susan Lucci at one point. I would just keep getting nominated.
Oh, my children.
Yeah, they never call my name, you know.
Exactly.
But I've wanted to write since I was a little girl. I am living what every 7-year-old, says they want to do. I'm doing what I wanted to do at 7 years old.
That's awesome.
Isn't that awesome? I went to Hampton University. I went to New York University, got my MBA. I wasn't taking this route to become a writer because I didn't know how to do it. You know, I just had the dream. And then in the 90s, I was in corporate America and everybody was writing. And I said, let me give it a shot.
Yeah.
And I wrote my first book in 1997.
Wow.
But talk about blessings and being blessed. I have been writing full time since the day I picked up that pen.
That is, look at God. Look at God.
What?
Look,
You know what I'm saying? Look at God.
I have been a full-time Black author because that
Yes.
says something too.
Yes, absolutely.
Since I picked up that pen in 1997, and it is a blessing. So people are going to hear my name for the first time, even though a lot of people know me. But people are going to hear my name and say, "Oh, an overnight success." And I guess it depends on your definition because if 20 years is overnight, I'm an overnight success.
I feel you. Go ahead and jump in here, sis. I know you want to get. I know you got some questions.
I do. You talked about being in corporate America first,
Yes.
and then transitioning into writing full time. And from the time you started, you didn't stop.
Never stop.
Do you think was there ever a period of time where you knew you were quote unquote in the wrong field, where you knew maybe you weren't quite being obedient to your calling? Was there, what was that period of time like, and what gave you the courage to get out the boat?
That's a very good question. I knew every day I wasn't supposed to be in corporate America. And let me tell you how I knew. Even though I was successful at it, a lot of my success came because I was a good writer. You know, like the marketing plans and the presentations. My success came from the gift that God had given me.
Yeah.
And God allowed me to be very successful in corporate America until he said, I want you to finally walk in this gift I've given you. And what made me do it was my husband. We had been married for 16 years at that time, but I had told my husband ever since I met him that I wanted to be a writer. And he brought me a computer for a wedding gift. Now I'm gonna date myself a little bit here because the wedding gift was one of those Apple IIe's that was as big as the room you're in. And you had to put in a disc. You had to take out a disc.
The floppy disc.
And the reason I never wrote was because by the time the computer warmed up, I was tired. And so I wrote for 16 years. I'm serious, y'all. Remember that computer and that blinking
square,
the blinking
rectangle, and the letters would turn.
Oh my God,
I couldn't write
is hilarious.
It took a half an hour for the computer to,
I'm weak.
Come on.
I am weak.
One day, my husband said to me, you know, you've wanted to write your whole life. You've wanted to write since I met you. And you're going to be, and you haven't done it. And he said, one day you're going to be 80 years old. And you're going to look back on your life and you're going to say the only thing in your life that you really wanted to do, you didn't even try. And that scared me.
Yes. Yes. That scared me just hearing it.
Yeah.
And
that scared you straight.
That moved my resistance to writing because I had a resistance to writing that was greater than my desire to write.
Okay.
And when Ray said that, it switched the scales. My desire became higher than my resistance. And once that happened, it was on.
Wow.
That's brilliant.
So listen, so you got Lust popping off tomorrow on Lifetime. Let the listeners know, like, how did that whole series come about? What was the inspiration?
Well, you know, I wrote a book called Stand Your Ground. Which was a book about, and this was in 2015, and it was a book about a young Black man, a young teenager who was shot and killed by a white man. And that book won every award possible.
Wow.
And after I wrote that book, that's when I finally won the NAACP award. It was the best book by the Library Journal. I mean, everything. And then I became afraid to write after that because I thought people would read the next book and say, girl, she needs to go get a job. She don't need to write no more books because I thought everybody would compare it to Stand Your Ground.
Yeah.
And it took me, I couldn't write for a year. And then my agent said to me, what you need to do is write something so different that people won't compare it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
that people won't compare it to Stand Your Ground. And so when they did that, I said, okay, someone had talked to me about writing the 7 Deadly Sins. And I said, okay, I'll give it a try. I figured that Lust would be the perfect book to come behind that award-winning book. And that's how it came about. And before Lust even hit the shelves, it was optioned to become a movie.
Wow.
It wasn't even on the shelf.
That's great. That doesn't happen.
That doesn't. What happened was that the editor at Essence Magazine, the book editor, Patrick Bass, read it. He had been following my career for 20 years. He knew Sean Robinson. He knew she wanted to get into movies. He said, look, if you want to get into movies, here's a person with a market, you know, a career, and this is her most commercial book. And Sean called me and she said, oh, so, you know, it's 7 Deadly Sins. You can write all 7? I said, yeah, maybe. She said, well, how many do you have? I said, 1. She said, we're going to need 2 in order for me to go out and shop this. And so I wrote Envy.
That's an incredible.
That's amazing.
That's absolutely. Go ahead. I know you got something, Bobbie, because I'm just blown away by this right now.
Yeah. I want to know, you mentioned not being able to write for a year because you were afraid that you wouldn't follow up with the Stand Your Ground. What did you do during that time?
I sat in my office and tried to write. I was blocked. I had never had blocked. I don't believe in writer's block. I believe it's procrastination. And I never had it before, but I sat there every day trying to get a story out, trying to figure out the next story.
Wow.
That's tough, man. I get it, because we all as creatives, at some point, we become almost uninspired, you know. So this story is just so inspiring to me. Like, wow.
Yeah.
And, you know, especially the part where your husband stepped up, like, look, this is what it is.
Shout
no one
out to
regret
husband.
this. Yeah, big up. You know, listen, that's
and it was really something because we had a very, very successful career. I had we had a business at that time, and when my first book came out and it had really good success, my husband wanted to sell our business, and I said, "Do you know how much money we're making? I don't want to sell our business." And he said, "We're going to sell it while it's on top, so that you can go do what you're supposed to do."
That is so amazing. So listen, I see TD Jakes is the executive producer. Now, how did that all come about? Because let me tell you a quick TD Jakes story. TD Jakes, his family literally lived 4 doors down from my family growing up in a small town called Dunbar, West Virginia.
West Virginia.
Yep. So every time I see him and his success, it just inspires me to know, like, this little boy from Jordan Street in Dunbar, West Virginia can do what he can do too. You know what I'm saying? So absolutely. Yep. But anyway, tell us how that all came about.
Well, then once Sean optioned the books, and she told them that she had the property, 7 books, but I had only written 2. She went everywhere. She took it to everybody over a year. And separately, she had met with Lifetime, and separately, she had met with TD Jakes and Derek Williams, who runs his production side of his business. And what was interesting was TD Jakes had done a movie with Lifetime called Faith Under Fire. And it had done so well that Lifetime said, okay, we want to be in business with you. We want to be in business with you, Bishop Jakes. Do you have anything? And Sean had just come to him with these 7 books. And he says, aha, I do something.
Wow.
I have something, I have 7.
Wow. That is just so amazing, sis. Like,
how long does it take you to write a book?
That's a good question. It used to take me a whole year. That was when I had time to really absorb, be in the creative side. Now, to make the money that we used to make, because in 2007 the whole book industry changed with the digital market
Yes,
and
yes,
everything.
yes.
I have to write about 2 books a year. So, but I'm blessed. I write full time. I sit at this desk and get my inspiration, but my inspiration is really getting a paycheck because I have this great.
I love it.
That'll do it.
I have a great relationship with food and shelter, and I want to.
Oh my God,
Right.
that is so funny. So listen, so we got what for our listeners. What time does the movie drop on Lifetime tomorrow?
It's Lifetime tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central. And I'm just very excited to see the words that I've written in a novel come to life. The casting was fantastic. With Kerry Hilson, Tobias Trevelyan, yes, and here's our heartthrob, Tank. Tank walks. The name of the movie is Lust, and I should have named that character. If I had known it was going to be Tank, I would have named the character Lust. He walks on the screen, and that's all you see.
Oh my God.
And I have 2 reasons to post about it. You and Paris Camper. Paris Camper is one of my favorite people. And I just did a movie with her a few months ago. So she became one of my favorite people ever. So now I have 2 reasons to post about it.
Oh, thank you.
Hold on. Wait. You just slipped that in. You did a movie? Like, okay, you know what?
She did her own movie and she cast me as the lead in it. And now she's in Victoria's movie.
But that's what I'm saying. I can't keep up with you.
Oh,
wow.
Sis, Bobbie be in everything. Like,
and everything. She's doing everything. Huh?
She's blowing up.
Well, I'm trying to get on the Victoria path where it's already laid out. I just got to walk down it.
That's right. Because that's what Deltas do.
Period.
Oh boy. Here we go. But anyway, listen, sis, it has been an honor and a pleasure to have you on the show, and you are just amazing. You're inspiring, and I will be in contact with you because my chapter down in West Virginia, we're going to be honoring some women later on in the fall, and I'm definitely going to bring your name up as one that needs to be honored. Yeah,
well,
you too, Bobbie, of course, but that goes without saying. But anyway, we're gonna get that popping. But anyway, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
No doubt. And good luck and continued success.
And thanks to your husband. Thanst to your husband.
Absolutely. He's a big up.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. That was a great conversation. Like she is literally just doing her thing. Like,
I can only imagine the powerhouse that they are as a couple. Probably just being around them, you probably just glean so much, and there's no way after, like, you can't talk to her and then like go sit down on the couch and eat chips. Like, you just can't. You know what I mean? Like, when we get done, I was gonna be like real productive.
Like, literally, after we get done, we always have our little conversation after. But after that, I'm going right back to finishing up this treatment.
To-do list.
We'll talk.
I'm going back to my to-do list.
No doubt.
Yeah.
So big up to her, and don't forget, y'all, tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, Lust on Lifetime. All right. So this is the part of the show that I think it's very important for my mental health, hopefully yours too. And we call it, what's on your mind. So I'm gonna go first. What's on your mind, sis?
DMX.
Yeah.
DMX is on my mind. It was, I couldn't, I was afraid to turn on the radio today because I feel like, I don't know, selfishly, that nobody really loved him more than I did during his peak.
Yeah.
And to me, he just represented freedom. I was a cool kid, but I never acted cool.
Mm.
When I was in my element, when I was around my people, I was not cool. I was not laid back. I was actually very, very wild, and very loud and very expressive. And when his music came out, it was my background music. It was my theme music.
Your theme music.
It was a theme, you know what I'm saying? It fueled me to being more of who I truly was. And now at this phase in my life, I find myself wanting to find more of who I was then, before so many influences from the world came in to sort of strip away layers of my truth, you know? So, I want to just read a small part of an article that I read, because here again, we are with writers who are brilliant writers, can just, when the experience of a person is put to words, it is so therapeutic, and there's something healing about it. So I just want to read an excerpt from this article. He says, although his persona fit a familiar hip hop archetype, DMX was a muscular street rapper who sold rugged credibility with an aggressive edge. His approach to rapping was a radical departure from other stylists at the time. His voice rose and fell with the preacher's cadence, the tone of his vocals bleeding raw at the surface. His verses were punctuated with growls and barks, yet his art was far too earnest for elements to scan as gimmickry. The gravely texture and loose rhythms of his rapping, he often seemed less interested in riding the groove than in confidently forcing to follow its lead. He gave the songs an urgent and unrehearsed feeling. He was my dude, and I am glad that he is free.
That was beautiful, sis. That was beautiful. What's on my mind?
What's on your mind, bruh?
Midwin Charles. I said I wasn't gonna get emotional, and I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try my best not to. Midwin Charles, for those who don't know, was a CNBC and CNN legal analyst, legal go-to person, a beautiful Haitian American, and a friend of mine. And when I say friend, like she's the type I could tell a pretty funny story. I remember I had like a kind of a mini stalker.
Oh,
yeah, a little mini stalker, and I was at an event at my friend Ade's event in the meatpacking district, and you know, a lot of my friends were there. It was great, but that particular woman, the little stalker, was there. So like everywhere I would go in the venue, she would be following me and just saying like crazy stuff to me, right?
Oh,
and you know, because I already told her, like, you know, it ain't happening with me and you. You know, it's crazy because she's a very attractive sister, but she definitely needed to be in some type of like serious therapy, like something was wrong with her. But anyway, long story short, Midwin was the one that I told her what was going on. She was like, "Come on, let's just dance." And we literally just danced the whole night. And that way I was able, you know, to stay away from old girl. Except at the end of the night, the girl, you know, she rolls up on me and it looks like she starts to say something. And then Midwin kind of just pulls me close to her and then looks at her. And the girl just went, zoop, and she was out. I never heard from her again. So Midwin was that, she was that sister that if she had your back, she had your back. Yeah. So just to lose her without having a chance to say goodbye is rough, is really rough. And I love her to death, but I just can imagine her, like her really, really close friends and her family, just losing someone that suddenly has to be tough. And so I'm just sending out prayers of strength and comfort to her friends and family, her close friends and family. And God bless you, Midwin. You know, heaven just gained another angel. All right.
All right. Yes, all right.
So, all right. So let me get the energy back up.
Hey, black men cry too.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But right now, listen, when we bring this on, There's gonna be a couple of stories I tell that you're gonna be crying tears of laughter. Right. Backstage, before we bring this beautiful, fine Nubian African sister on.
Talented out the what?
Yes, super dope. And I got some stories. Y'all gonna be dying. I'm gonna embarrass the hell out of her. I'll let her know right now. She just got picked up to be an actress on the Stargirl series. So we are super excited for this amazingly talented sister. Her name is Nija Okoro. Yeah. Nija, woo! Red dress come on. Red. So listen, for those of you who will listen to this, on Spotify, you can't see it. First of all, Bobbie is like, I've never seen Bobbie turn red from laughing. All right, because this is her girl, Nija.
Yes,
and
I love you, Bobbie.
Nija has this amazing red dress on that I'm feeling a certain type of way right about now. But she looks amazing, and she knows that I love her to death. So welcome to the show, Nija.
Thank you. I'm like looking. I'm like, it looks like I got booty, but I swear I don't. I have nothing.
Look, it's working.
Oh Lord Jesus, here we go. Here we go.
Let it illuge. Let it illuge, girl. Let it illuge.
Here we go. Big up to everybody in the comments. Good seeing you too, sis. I'm so mad I missed you when I was out in LA. But anyway, and I got some good stories about Nija, but I'm gonna let Bobbie start this interview out because y'all have known each other longer. So you go, sis.
So, all right, Nija. I feel like I wonder, okay, the first time I really, really, really saw you do your thing was in the studio performance. I don't remember what play it was, but you sang the Stevie Wonder song.
Yeah. Like a Cow or an Elephant by Kara Cawthron.
Yes.
Wow.
And first of all, you were brilliant. But it was
coming from Bobbie. I'm taking that to the bank, cashing it, waving my dollars around.
But what I saw that day, I was like, she's not like anybody else. She's not like anybody else. Sometimes you can say, oh, this person is kind of like a da-da-da, or put you in the mind of da-da-da. Nija is her own like she's the first. She's one of one. And I wonder sometimes, do you think that Hollywood or whatever had a hard time figuring out what to do with you because you were the first one? Talk to me about that, about how they figured out who you are.
Bobbie, that's so interesting you say that, because I feel like I want to cry now, because to put it in those words, I just think of me as me, and it's interesting. I'm really discovering how much of a character actress I am. Like, I really enjoy, that's why I love that role. That was my favorite role I got to do with you. It was she had so much going on, and I got to like play and be free. I felt like I was free, and it's interesting because I feel like at least the feedback I get from, like, say, my manager or people who watch my work, you can't really put me in a box, which actually makes it kind of difficult. Makes it harder. Because it's like, how old is she? Where's she from? Like, she did this acting so well. Like, I got self tapes. Sometimes I watch my self tapes just for giggles. Can we curse? Yeah. Just for giggles. And I'll be like, okay, I was Ghanaian there. Then I'm all of a sudden from, Atlanta. Now I'm, now I'm this person. Now I'm a mama. Now I'm like this. Like, and it's just, I'm actually looking at it going, who are, like, okay, do you know what I mean? Like, it's interesting to see that. And I've just recently started to embrace that. Like, well, you'll catch up eventually. And I don't care. As long as I can pay my bills and keep working. Listen, I just want to do work that matters and I care about, and I want to, you know what I mean? And I don't want to be like, why don't we get put in boxes? Can we talk about that? Don't nobody other like white folks get put in boxes like that.
Right. Right.
They get loose. They get loose.
Right.
It's like, oh, it's like, no, Viola can do more than what you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're seeing it with my Rainian. Like, it's just, So anyway, I'm with you. I'm with you in terms of like, I'm discovering that about myself. So thank you, Bobbie, for that reflection of that, because you were always one of my favorites at school. I love watching everything you do. Bobbie's brilliant. Ladies and
she's
gentlemen,
dope. She's
Bobbie
super
is
dope.
like, so it's like for you to say, and you know how it is at school. There's a hierarchy, right? When you come in, so you always look for people that are a year, but you're like, oh my god.
I'm gonna need a series about this school. That sounds interesting.
Yeah. No, it's real. Like you look, and then if you happen to love an artist that was there before you, you're like, so I still think of you with that reverence, and for good reason. Everything I see you do, I mean, my God, and you put such honesty and love and life into everything you do, and I love that. So thank you for that reflection, because I swear on everything, I just came to that conclusion. Like, y'all know about, because I can't sit there and try to make myself into. No, I'm just gonna have to just let it fly. Yeah.
Right.
So listen, okay, enough with the love fest. All right, enough. So listen, I'm gonna put Scoop down. Yo. So Bobbie, I'm gonna tell you how me and Nija met. This is a great story. All right. So hold on, let me get into the mic so I can really tell y'all the story. Now, So what happened was, all right. So I go it's New York City about 2 years ago. Is it 2 years ago or 3 years ago?
Yeah, I would say about that. Yeah, that sounds right.
It's New York City 3 years ago, 2018.
Oh, around the same time actually, because my birthday just passed. It was right around my birthday. I was celebrating my birthday in New York. Yep.
I'm DJing at a corner spot in Harlem. I'm done with my set. I go next door because that spot stays open a little later. So just to bring down my energy, because you know what I do when I'm on the wheels. So I got to bring down my energy. So I'll go there. So I'll go into the venue. Nobody's upstairs. Everybody's downstairs. I walk downstairs. And as I'm walking downstairs, I see 3 young women, but one in particular caught my eye. She's right in the middle, like they the bodyguards or something. So I look, and she looks at me, and I look at her, and I'm thinking to myself, oh, Lord, she fine. But I'm trying to keep it cool. I go to the bar. I order a fruit punch because I don't drink alcohol. Anyway, and I'm sipping on that fruit punch like it's some exotic drink. And I slowly turn around, and I catch her eye again. She catches my eye. And I said, you know what? I took a deep breath. Okay. And I walk over to her. I said, excuse me, miss, would you like to dance? And she looked at me, and her girls looked at her, and then she looked back at me. She said, okay. So I pull her away from her girls. Hold up. So I pull her away from her girls, and we're dancing. And she's looking at me, and we're smiling, and we're giggling. And then I pull her a little closer to me, and then she pulls a little closer to me. And then we start dancing like two people who actually like each other. You know what I mean? You know that dance. Anyway, afterwards, we have a nice conversation. And then, of course, it is her birthday. And I let her get back to her girls. I didn't want to sweat her like that. It's like, all right, let her get back to her girls.
Yeah.
So then the event's over.
Wait, he took like 18,000 pictures, though. He's a picture taker.
No, not pictures, video. I was like, I'm taking video of this. This gotta be documented.
She's is that how I act when I'm out?
Yeah. But anyway, hold on, let me get back to the story. So the party's over. We all walk upstairs, and everybody's standing outside. So finally I say, wait a minute, I didn't get her number. So I walk over to her. She looks at me like, what does dude want now? Anyway, so we start talking, and I said, wait a minute. I said, I asked her for a number. She goes, well, just let you know, I don't really live here. I said, where you live? She said, LA. I said, oh, where in LA? I just came from LA. She said, yeah. I said, well, what do you do in LA? She said, I'm an actress. I said, wait a minute, you're an actress. I was like, what's your last project? And she said, I was in a play called And before she got that out, I was like, you were in a play 2 Trains Running. I was there at your dress rehearsal. And I asked our mutual friend and a friend of the show, Dorian Missick, he plays Jamal on For Life on ABC. I asked Dorian, I said, Dorian, who was that girl? I asked him that night. And I asked him on the low because I actually was out with somebody. I didn't want to disrespect her. So I was out with somebody. It's all good. She married with somebody else right now, so it don't matter. But yeah, so I literally had asked about you that night, and then I meet you in New York City, like, a month and change later, just random. It was just random. It was crazy.
So random.
And we just
Harlem
yes,
like random.
So yeah, so that's the story.
And I just got to New York that night. Like that's the first place we went. I was at my best friends in Maryland. We drove to New York, and literally that's where we landed. And then met John.
Yep. So yeah, I had to look. You know that emoji with the hearts in the eyes.
Yeah,
that's how I was looking at that. I said, "Okay, nice to meet you. Good night."
Was you turning like this? Turn it.
Oh yeah. Oh my God.
Me too. Oh my God. Like,
she had that walk.
Love John, boy. I said, listen. I was like, Lord, I can't go out with you. Daddy was trying to come for me. I'm over the fighting days. I'm trying to be over.
Right.
Whatever.
I heard you talking about stalkers. You had stalkers that night, and just about every other time I seen you. They
No.
Teddy bear.
Whatever.
With his fruit punch.
Anyway,
Nigel, with your arms out, because they don't want smoke. When you put your arms out, they don't want that smoke.
No, they don't want that smoke. Because I'm looking
it's
at
gonna be all yakety yak.
Listen, I'm looking at young Serena right now. so listen, but let's get back to the the situation at hand. Now, you just got the role Stargirl. For our audience who aren't familiar with the show, because I ain't gonna front, when you said Stargirl, I was thinking about the DC superhero show, and then I had to look it up.
Really
yeah. I was hyped. I was like, yeah, she get that DC hero money.
Tell him to drink fruit punch. So I was like, he's just an interesting. You know what I mean? He rocks his dope kicks and like drinks his fruit punch. He be doing the cue. Like he's just his own being. So that's adorable. I was like, he reads the books, the Stargirl books. I love it.
So anyway, tell the people about the show and what your role is going to be.
Yeah, so it's actually a film. And it's a sequel to it. It's based on a book, a very popular, like young adult book, about this girl named Stargirl who just basically dances to the beat of her own drum. Like she is exactly who she is, and she's unapologetic, and she walks around with like a rat on her shoulder. Like I don't know how I'm gonna work. I'm just praying I don't have to see. Or because I can't act for that. I don't know what's gonna happen if that, if I have to be on set with anything that looks like I don't know. But she has a cat and she's just so interesting. And I got to see the first film, and it's beautiful. Like the message is basically about be yourself and and like be true to you and love on everybody. She's like such a lover of life. And this sequel, she moves to LA and moves into the building that my husband and I have, and befriends my son. And so it becomes, I don't know what else I can say about that, but it's a beautiful story, and it's going to be directed by Julia Hart, who's a dope director. She's awesome. And it's just, and Uma Thurman is in it, and and Judd Hirsch. Like, so it attracts these beautiful people because it really is like the perfect message for right now. And I'm excited. Like, that's the thing. Like, I've decided that I really want to just tell stories that mean something to me. So that's what excited me about this. I was like, I get to be a part of, just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful story. So yeah, did y'all go anywhere? I don't see y'all anymore.
No, we just highlighted you.
Yeah.
We just.
Let me show them what you're working with. Okay.
We just highlighted you, babe. It's all good. Oh my God.
But yeah, no. So it's a beautiful, beautiful story, and my character is Daphne, and she is. What the director pointed out is she wanted to see Black families the way she sees Black families. You know, like just real fabulous, like beautiful family,
Yeah.
and it's like. This family is like my dream family. You know what I mean? And I get to be the queen of this family. And it's like, and I just love how Daphne lets her kids fly. You know, like it's almost like that new age sort of like, you know, I see you over there. Go ahead. You know, I see you. I trust you. Go. You know, go live your life and be you. And I think we need to see more of that. You know, we just need to see more of, you know, of us in different lights. So I think this will be one
That's
of
awesome.
Yes, that is beautiful. It sounds like Daphne doesn't have what is it called? Post-traumatic slave syndrome, where we're always like, I have it. Guilty. I'm always, my kids have to be within an arm's reach or I panic. You know what I mean? Post-traumatic. So to your point, it is beautiful to see a free spirit raise other free spirits, you know, without like you said, with everything that's going on in the world right now, where we really feel like we have to cling or we have to be nearby in order for them to stay safe. That'll be a nice. I look forward to meeting Daphne. We need her right now.
Yeah, I think so. It's so funny because I think from what I observe of things you talk about and being a mom, like you actually would be one of the many role models I would have in terms, because I don't have kids. Of course, Daphne, like she's beautiful. Like I imagine she's gonna be beautiful and fabulous, and also encouraging her kids to be exactly who they're supposed to be without. And that's how I see you as a parent. You know, like yes, we're all. It's interesting because I do it with my like nieces and my like little cousins. Like I just want them. I'm terrified of everything. You know, but I have to consciously say, no, it's okay.
Yep,
they can. No, that's great. Go ahead, go do that. I see, like, and I'm like inside going, "Oh Lord, I want them to be okay." But there's a lesson in that, you know, because we're walking around, because the generation before us did that to us, and we're walking around so fearful, and for great reason. Like, you know, no shame on that at all. But it's like I think there's a newer generation that's starting to go, no, we get to do something different. Like when I see a little, you know, like a little white girl with a little tutu and the hair sticking up everywhere, I'm like, yes. And then when I see a little Black girl with her hair sticking up everywhere and just living, I saw one on a skateboard with a tutu and her hair was everywhere. And I said, we are in Harlem. And I was like, yes, this is what I mean. Like we're starting to just say, that's what you wanted to wear today, fine. Let's just, because you know how we are. Oh Lord, that's what you're wearing, you know? But
you ain't walking this ass house looking like you don't belong to nobody.
Exactly. But like we're like, go be a superhero today, you know? Like I don't think that, you know, the Wonder Woman outfit on, it's fine, you know. And I think that we're moving into this version of ourselves culturally. Like we're freeing ourselves.
We are healing. We're healing. Yes.
So Nija, do you have any other exciting projects that we should be, you know, aware of coming up?
But I did do a film, a thriller. It's an indie thriller I did while I was on tour on our on tour for Jitney, which Bobbie got to see. We had like a 2-week Christmas, you know, New Year's break, and I went and shot this like thriller, and I'm the lead, you know, one of the leads of it, which is kind of cool to be in like a scary. It's actually, it turned out I really enjoyed it. So that just came out. It's called The Stay.
The Stay. What platform is it on?
It's on. I know it's on Apple TV, and then it's apparently going to be on a lot more platforms. They're just not telling me, you know, like this sort of release thing. But right now, I know for sure it's on Apple TV, and then I don't know where. I hear it's going to be on a lot of platforms. So it's kind of cool. It's just, you know, and what I really do like what they did with the character, like, you know, Black folks in horror films and things. You usually like, you know,
we usually don't last long.
Basically, yeah.
Nija, you just brought up Jitney, and I know we're probably over time, but I got to tell her this.
Right.
You just brought up Jitney. Ironically, so I don't know if you know, but so I'm about to move to Tennessee. My husband just got a head coaching job in Tennessee, so we about to move.
Wow.
So
Tennessee.
So his coaching staff, and I'm about to put somebody's business out there, but it's okay. Just a little bit.
I love it. I'm leaning in.
He has somebody on his coaching staff who is he's like a brother to us. We love him dearly, but he moves fast. Everything he does is just fast. It's like, yo, like he does not wait. Like he's like, I'm getting it done. I'm checking it off the list. He's so efficient.
Yeah.
He came to my house last night, and me and his wife are tight. He came to my house last night, and he was like, yo, doc, hey man, I'm about to buy this house. And I was like, you finna do what? You finna do what? He was like, I'm finna put an offer out right now. He was like, I met a realtor online. He seemed cool. And so I'm about to put an offer in right now because this housing market is crazy. I'm about to do this right now. And Nija, I thought of your character in Jitney. And I told my husband last night about that very scene. Can you please tell, because he's trying to take care of his family, he's trying to, lay roots or whatever. But I had to look out for his wife because he was not thinking of everything that Rena said in her monologue. So can you I'm not going to ask you to do it. And I'm not going to put you on the spot or nothing like that. But can you please
do it?
Can you please talk? Can we just please shout out to August Wilson for knowing the voice and the plight of the woman too? Because in Jitney, this man tries to surprise Nija's character with a house, and you think it's gonna be, you're in the audience, you think it's gonna be this moment, but talk about it, Nija. Talk about that moment.
Yeah, so it was so interesting. This was so much fun to do because So, because I'm like, if somebody surprised me with a house, I don't know no better. I'd be like, weird. But August Wilson wrote this beautiful, forward-thinking woman, and she's a young woman too, in the 70s, who was going to school, which is also unlike other characters, a lot of other characters in the canon. She's going to school to be an accountant, and the father of her child is sneaking around saving up money and not telling her what's going on. So she finally confronts him, like, what? She thinks he's cheating, so she's like, what's going on? And so he gets all, he's cracking up his pants, and he's like, so baby, why you thought I was cheating, honey? I bought you a house. And the audience is like, oh, finally. And she goes, house? What you mean you bought me a house? Wait a minute. Is there a fence? Is there hook up the washer and dryer? Is there a this? You can't just go around behind my. No, baby. We're a unit. We are a unit, and that's the beautiful thing about August Wilson. He knows how to. It's about the relationship. We're trying to build a family here.
Yes.
You got to consider my needs. And she goes in on him too. She's like, I bet you just thought about where to put the TV. I bet that's what you thought about.
Right.
That's hilarious.
It's like
right.
Beautiful, and it's so funny because in the we had the opportunity of doing this on tour. So like. In certain cities too, especially LA, the women were like, yes, it's like, I mean, in all the cities, the women were really, but it's so human and so forward thinking and so pushing the family, the Black family forward. And that's what I really loved about being able to be a part of that, because he was in the right. He was doing his best. Oh my God. I mean, they were, coming from, they were living in the projects, and he was asked to buy a house, but she still had the like, even now, I still would be like, a house where, like, where, baby? But no, it's not about that. It's about communication. It's about friendship. It's about, and I think oftentimes women think of men oftentimes as such a prize that we forget that we have a stake in this relationship too. Like it's about, you know what I mean? Like it's not just about how wonderful he is as a father, as a this, as a whatever. It's like, no, but I'm over here going to school. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. You got to come and talk to me. No, this is not, we're equals. We're partners, you know?
Right.
So,
and it really exemplified the difference in just the way that we think. Men sort of think, you know, a lot of men think just sort of big stuff, house, taken care of.
Yes.
But in Rena's monologue, it was, you know,
Right.
Where's
how
school?
far is the school? Right.
How far?
The school district.
I got to get the baby to school and the grocery store, and so about all the things that we think about. You know, for every one thing the man thinks about, it's like we think about the bullet points that fall up under that thing.
That's right.
You know,
and that's what women are walking with. Like we're just multitasking, and
we got a lot of tabs open.
How you mamas do that? I don't know how you mamas do that. Like it's
I don't either.
Salute to the mom. Salute to the mom.
Yeah, it's a superpower. It's a superpower. Yeah, that's so funny. Good for you for looking out for her. Good for you for looking out for you know, the wife.
I definitely channeled Raina in that one. Yeah,
you probably say them a therapy session.
So listen, sis, you know it's been an honor to have you on.
Such
you know,
a
both of us love you to death, and we are super excited to see you on the big screen. I know you're going to turn it out because that's the type of energy you bring to everything, and we love you. And you know, thanks for coming on.
Y'all. Thank you.
Love you so
and
much.
I just have to say, John, you have been turning it out in your music, and when you go on the lives, I've been hearing from my family in New York. No, I'm serious. My cousin said you got out of a dark place one day. I think she might be watching. She the music. One day she said, "I'm gonna tell you, your boy just took me out of a dark place."
Oh wow!
Yeah, what you do matters and it's important. Yes, I'm serious.
Well, I return this Monday. I've been off for like 2 weeks. I return this Monday. Cocktails and Pajamas, 10 o'clock Eastern time on my IG. Straight neo soul, smooth R&B, slow jams. So if you don't want to have no kids, don't listen. All right.
If you don't want no kids, don't listen.
That's what I'm saying. Listen.
Like slow jams.
Listen, just by listening, you could be alone as a woman. You listen to this, you might be pregnant.
You gonna get pregnant.
Reception.
Damn, John, quick. He better have some money to pay for this child. Anyway, Nija, we love you.
I love y'all. Thank you so much for what you do.
So fun.
All right.
No
bye,
doubt.
y'all.
I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.
That
was so fun.
Yeah, tonight was awesome, and definitely was what my soul needed. Like real talk. Like after this rough week, is like wow. Like yes, that was good. That was good.
Yes.
So, but you know, normally we close it out with the theme song, Bobbie. But tonight, I'm gonna play the first record my fraternity brother, former vice president of promotion over at Def Jam, Thomas Lytell, sent to me, and he said to me, he goes, "Listen, I'm gonna send you this white label, because what happens is a lot of times when the record is brand new, it's not even out to the public. They just send you a white label vinyl. It just be a white label." Okay. So he sent me a white label of this DMX record, and the rest is history. So until next time, y'all, I'm the DJ and
I'm the actress.
No doubt. We'll see y'all next week. Thanks for tuning in. And make sure you follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. All right? Peace.
Hey.
Yeah. I'm right here, dog. Where my dogs at? We right here, dog. Where my dogs at? I'm right here, dog. What must I go through to show you is real? And I ain't really never gave a it's fair. Up in a cause I want to, cause I have to. And don't make me show you what the if you don't know by now, then you slip. I'm on some bullshit that's got me flipping. Let my man in them stay pretty. I'ma stay cruddy. It's all for the money. Is you with me? Get the this now can make the when it's on, we transform like Optimus Prime. Out from the head, roll out, let's make it happen. If we ain't gonna get it with them, we'll take it. No, dusting off, it's soft. Money with the biggest mouth, yo, let's off this. Come on, never made a sound. Breathe too f***ing hard and you getting down. Yeah. Just wanna be. Get at me, dog. Yeah. Wanna feel us? Get at me, dog. Yeah. Want the bread? Get at me, dog. What? Yeah. With the dirt. Yeah. Wanna be. Get at me, dog. Yeah. Wanna feel us? Let's get at me, dog. Now it is.